Welcome to Lawrence, Kansas, and pay. Red Raiders will kick it away to start us off. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. So Kansas offense will get the first crack at it here. Here he comes, and obviously defense is always going to be aware of a quarterback, but boy, he finds a way to put defenses on their heels all the time, David.
I mean, what can't he do? He's got the weapons, he's got the confidence, he's got the experience. Jesse, these kind of guys are so hard to defend.
You're right. They better be able to find a way to get pressure on him, because if they don't, this is going to be a long day.
He's got his man. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Power football with the run. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42. The Jayhawks are moving quickly down the field. To the air on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. It's caught. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it first and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater. Now it's second and goal. Looking to pass. It's Ballard. Getting some heat. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. It's still third and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. They're trying to get to him. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. And they'll send out the field goal unit. And it's right down the boulevard. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away.
This is a team that really prides themselves on starting fast. We've seen that before, and here they are playing at home today. Nice job on the opening drop. Lots of poise, good emotion. They don't get the touchdown they would have liked, but they kick a nice field goal. They've got the lead. Head coach has to be happy.
They'll throw it on first down. With the catch, it's Hills. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. He uncorks a bullet to the right. And the DB making a huge play, knocking it away downfield. And the Red Raiders line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. He only needs a sliver of daylight. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. The give. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking for room. It's Thompson. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. Now look what I found. I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune. The offense keeps it. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. He is a menace rushing the passer, career sack number 20.
I mean, some people just have a knack for getting to the quarterback. What a great job throughout his career. Getting there, getting him down, getting pressures. He has been a quarterback's worst nightmare.
I was just going to say, David, you don't sleep well as a quarterback the night before you have to play against this guy because he is going to sack you. That is a guarantee. Death, taxes, and sacks for that guy.
Movement here from the tight end. The give from the gun. They finally make the stop, but the big run is plenty to move those sticks for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack. After the big first down sack, it's second down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense, it brings up a fourth down. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, to get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chain. After picking up this first down on the ground, let's see what they do. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there. They'll try again on second down after the incompletion. Back to the ground game on the left. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Now facing a third and long. Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. To throw, it's Ballard. He looks that one in nicely. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And the Jayhawks will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
The Red Raiders pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Caught behind the line. It's Johnson. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. And here comes the offense on second down. The aerial assault continues. And the completion to the sideline. A solid pickup, but not enough for the first down. This defense will try to force a fourth down on third and short from the 45. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. And the Red Raiders are flying down the field. To the ground, he's got it again. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. On the ground, it's Dickey. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down. The Red Raiders have it with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. This offense has a second down play. Back to pass, it's Strong. And he just threw that one away. Safe move, didn't see anything, lived to play another play. Ninth play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. 3rd and long. Unleashes one deep. He makes the catch at the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Well, I'm not sure who was closer to the receiver there, the defensive backs or us here in the booth.
That was great execution on offense. Receiver wins the route one-on-one, shows off his speed, gets himself wide open. There was no question where the quarterback was going to get that one. Nice job.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Nice, just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. The Kansas offense returns to the field. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away. And now on 2nd down for this offense. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Finds a man on the left. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15. They're going to run it. Still on his feet at the 45. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36. And here on 1st down, let's see if they keep it on the ground. Looking to move it through the air. Got his man quickly. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. They'll leave it with the lone back. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. Here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Gets it out quickly. It's a fumble on the play. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? So the officials take a closer look and the replay booth will overturn the call. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Give to the running back. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. To the air, it's Ballard. Finds his back in the middle. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. Brought down after a 5-yard gain down to the 7. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. Give to the running back. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat. And the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But, David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win. And if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hotter.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job. The pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room. So important to get off to a good start. Try to quiet some of those haters and some of those doubters.
From inside the 10, here he comes. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Got it behind the line. It's Turner. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. Stuck with a running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. Looking to throw. He just never got started going forward. A huge loss of 8 on the play. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Hills. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a 1st down. Used the play fake. Now to throw. He slings it deep to the left. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. To the air, it's Strong. Didn't have much of a choice there but to get rid of it. They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a 3rd and long. He wants to throw it again. They've got the screen set up. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. Wants to throw on 1st down. Firing to the right, complete. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that 1st down. Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the 1st down. And the Red Raiders come to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. Big loss on the last play, threatens to knock this drive off course. It's 2nd and 16. He's looking to throw. Quick completion on the out. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. They've made clutch, tough plays on this drive on 3rd down. They need one more on 3rd and 7. They get him on the ground, but it's a 1st down. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. Just couldn't get away from the tackle. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Hills. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. They go to the draw. Headed to the end zone. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit from the left hash, and this distance ought to make that angle pretty easy to handle. And it's no good. And guys, after the miss, the lead is still 1. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. Fights off a defender. Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. A 3rd and long coming up here. Back to throw. It's Ballard. Pocket starts to collapse. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the 1st half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
On the move, it's Dickey. And the returner is stopped. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. You want to talk about taking the wind out of your sails. Drive the ball down the field and miss the field goal, David.
You know what? Don't leave it up to kickers. Execute better offensively. I think you move the ball nice. You got to keep that in mind. But, Palmer, I think you got to stay aggressive and don't settle for field goals.
Yeah, because you got to know there's just no margin for error right now. You just have got to be able to execute it.
Stopped after making the catch. Looking to pick up a 1st down on 3rd and short from the 43. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly complete. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a 1st down on the play. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. It's reverse. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Off play action. Coming after him. And they're on him immediately. Down goes the quarterback. And we might as well state the obvious. 1st and 2nd down didn't work out. 3rd and very long. Pressure coming. They've got the play bottled up. Fumble, it's out. The D scoops it up, and everybody reverses field. He's loose down the left side. Touchdown, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. And the defense doing work.
You know, the one thing that really worries head coaches coming into week 1 is ball security. You're worried about execution. This offense offense has done some good things early in this game, but you cannot put the ball on the ground because the defense will make you pay like they did right there, taking it all the way to the house.
And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They'll leave it with him. Pirouettes away from the defense. Nifty run there. Pickup of 6 out to the 25. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Facing a 3rd down and short from the 26. They'll try to power their way ahead. Now they'll really try to get this drive going. Good execution on 3rd down as they have it 1st and 10 at the 31. Been showing them the run. Now they'll throw it. Caught over the middle. It's Hills. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the 1st down. Line getting set on 2nd down. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Catch in the middle. It's Johnson. And the catch was one thing, and the run even better. A big pickup on that one. The Red Raiders are on the move. Motion from the offense. Off play action on 1st down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hills. Gets him down at the 30 after a 15-yard pickup. They are threatening, and they have a 1st down. The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. Back to the air one more time. Got it in the middle. It's Hills. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a 1st down. And the Red Raiders come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Wants to throw. It's Strong. And he's got it. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get him. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
He's going to pass. Safe completion on the screen. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup. Still some work to do after that last completion at 2nd down. He's looking to throw. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster. The Jayhawks will punt it away on 4th down. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. He gets a block. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Going up top on 1st down. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Dickey. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. The offense will have to use its 1st time out of the half. Just inside the 40-yard line, it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Back to pass, it's Strong. Quickly complete. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Get it out on the screen. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. And they're going to lose yardage there. The defense defense completely owning the front. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. And it's caught! Touchdown, Red Raiders!
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Kansas offense returns to the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, Dave?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You have got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision making.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. He's looking to throw it. Caught near the sideline, it's Myers. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. Wants to fire on second down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. The Red Raiders will punt this one away. Hauls it in and looking upfield. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. They'll try the run. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44. 9-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on second and short. Leaves it with the running back. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down. Ready to fire from the pistol. Off the play fake on first down. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. Offense gets set for second down. The give to the tailback. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Off the boot, looking for his man. Trying to get to him. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be fourth down. And the Jayhawks will try to pin them back with the punt. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. Pulls it and fires to the left.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
And the Red Raiders have this offense rolling. He'll do it himself. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. Got a little work done on first down, now back to the line. Looking to throw, it's Strong. Gets it out fast. And that defensive penetration gave him no chance, and he is ridden out of bounds. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Snagged in the middle, it's Dickey. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. The Red Raiders will send out the punt unit. He's getting a lot of work. Fourth time he's punted tonight. And he can't quite get it down or out of bounds. It's into the end zone for a touchback. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. They're bringing heat. Lost one deep down the right side.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass, locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, pass incomplete.
Caught in the backfield, it's Thompson.
You know, that play right there shows me the quarterback has a plan. He had no hesitation. The defense was bearing down on him. He got hit on that play, but he knew where his running back was.
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
And there's no mystery as to why this team's losing today. They've given up 5 sacks. They cannot keep their quarterback upright, and you just saw another example of it right there. He has never been able to get into rhythm throwing the football.
The Jayhawks send out the punt unit. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. On the return, it's Dickey. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Crosses the 40, gets it down to the 35 before he stopped a gain of 6. 6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. The pull and throw off the RPO. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. Looking to throw, it's Strong. Quick strike complete. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. He'll come out throwing on first down. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. The incompletion leads to 2nd and 10. From the gun, running back on the move. Knocked down after a 3-yard gain to the 25. They run into a bit of trouble here. 3rd and long from the 25, and the last thing they want is to get knocked out of field goal range. He makes a grab, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
Have a day, young fella. I foresee some social media posts in his future. Not 1, not 2, but 3 receiving touchdowns on the day. What a ball game.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Texas State went scorched earth in a double-digit win that might have been worse had they not sat the starters there in that 4th quarter. Total destruction by the Bobcats.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake.
It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way. But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Dropping back, it's Ballard. They'll run the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. They try to pop a run on the draw. And he was able to run through a tackle. They finally get him, but not until he picks up the first down. Wide out in motion. Leaves it with the back. And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Jayhawks will call on their punt team. Make sure that there's not going to be a return on this when ball's out of bounds, and I think they'll mark it right around the 25. From the gun, running back gets the give. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 27-yard line. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Right back to the well. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1. 3rd down conversions, always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. The Kansas offense returns to the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And if your job is to irritate, to confuse, to hit, to make quarterbacks feel very uncomfortable, this defense is definitely doing their job. 6 sacks, that's the way to make the quarterback feel like he's having a hard day. He's had no response. This offensive line has no response, just a sack party.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. He lobs one high down the left side. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. A defender was right there. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Running it back, it's Dickey. Spins away. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete. Didn't connect last time. Let's see if they throw it again on 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Strong. Got his man out of the backfield. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. He rifles one deep down the middle. And the ball is intercepted. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And defensive backs you think don't have good hands. The big fella shows it. How about that defensive back going up and get the interception? Nice job breaking on the football. You say that's why you play defense, because you don't have hands? Yeah.
Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot. You got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Just a little off. Incomplete. 3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? They'll try to get the first through the air. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. The Jayhawks decide to punt it away. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. They'll start this drive with a pass. Caught in the backfield, it's Dickey. Tackled immediately after the catch. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield, it's Johnson. Open space at the 25. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Looking for a man. It's Strong. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. Couldn't find his man last time. Now they'll have to convert 3rd and 4. From the gun, wants to pass. Feeling some heat. Quarterback all over the place trying to make a play, but eventually he goes down.
Number 16, on to kick it away.
He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. If you like old school running games, this has been the game for you and a couple of guys who starred through the first 3 periods. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. The Kansas offense returns to the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like...
And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
These are the perfect situations you love to be in. Known passing situations. These are not where the offensive tackles want to be. And when you're on the edge and there's no threat of the run, pin your ears back, get the nice first down sack.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. He lost one down the sideline. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. And the Jayhawks will line up to punt it away. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. To the air, it's Strong. Using the quick game. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. The completion short of the sticks, it's 2nd down. He's looking to throw. And here's the pick, and oh, did they need that right now. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
We still got time. Great job by the defense doing the most important thing, getting the ball back to their offense. Now the offense has to answer the bell. Good job creating the turnover. Now the offense, your turn.
Looking for a productive play on first down. They'll give it to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Gets open down the middle. They get him down after he makes the catch. The line to gain here is the 43-yard line, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Shoots it to the left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He'll try to take it back. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over and move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Hills. And the Red Raiders moving quickly to the line. Grabbed behind the line. It's Hills. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Now on second down.
Brings up second down.
The give to the left. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains. The Red Raiders are threatening on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Pickup of 1. It's down at the 11. Third and goal from way back there. Looking for a man. It's Strong. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
This quarterback is thinking to himself, I need to get an NIL deal at some restaurant so I can take my offensive line out and feed them more, because I don't think they like me very much right now. I've been sacked 6 times in this game. It's time to get that new NIL deal paycheck.
And they'll send out the field goal unit. And if they can make this and turn it into a 3-score game, they'll have this one all but locked up. Splits the uprights, it's good. And now the lead is extended a little further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Notre Dame is just getting blown off the field right now. I know a lot of people either love or hate the Golden Domers, but anyone would agree this is tough to watch. They're trailing by 24 to Purdue. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner will be dragged down. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after the play.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this drive.
He's got his man. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. Let me tell you, this senior quarterback can flat fit it in a tight window. Comes out throwing on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw, it's Ballard. He'll loft one deep down the left side. And this is hauled in at the 20-yard line. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Rock Chalk!
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under and make a big play for it.
Yeah, and when I'm the receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
And the extra point was good. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finished the drive with a 64-yard scoring toss.
Kansas, 20.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Finds his tight end.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in the game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
And the Red Raiders will move the sticks. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. The sure hands, it's Dickey. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. Passing game very effective on second down. What about here on third? Caught near the sideline. It's Hills. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Trying to find his man on first down. Takes the easy throw in the flat. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now here on second down, see if they keep tossing it around. They'll run it out of the shotgun. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down. The Red Raiders come to the line with a new set of downs. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air. It's Strong. Snags it over the middle. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. Wide receiver now comes in motion. To the air on first down. Caught behind the line. It's Johnson. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Long drive continues as the offense keeps working the ball down the field. Got it behind the line. It's Johnson. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Ball's at the 25. They're in field goal range, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. The handoff, keep working on that clock. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. He'll try to put up the 3 ball from 43 yards away. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. And that lead grows even bigger.
Texas Tech, 34. Kansas, 20.
After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Kansas offense returns to the field. He'll start this drive firing. Unloads to the right. He's got an open man. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. Back to throw, it's Ballard. And that pass intercepted. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
That should be the nail in the coffin. What a great break on the football, getting the big turnover. You got the lead. Now just go out there, be smart on offense, and run that clock.
All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. On the run, it's Sticky. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The offense calls a timeout to stop the clock. They'll be perfectly content to go right back to the ground here on 2nd and 8. Here's the handoff. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This is a big pressure moment for the offense, too, because they've got the lead, but it's now 3rd down on their own side of the field. They would love nothing more than to be able to convert this, stay on the field, keep bleeding the clock, but the defense, I'd expect them to bring pressure here, trying to force the ball out of the QB's hands quickly.
Almost intercepted, and what a momentum swing that could have been, but they still force a 4th down. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. They'll throw it on first down. Unloads it left. Got his man. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. Looking to move it through the air. Pulls it in. It's Stewart. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. On second down, just keeps firing. A strike downfield. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. Looking downfield, it's Ballard. Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
And there's no quit in this team. Obviously, they're trailing late in the game, but they're trying to make it happen. We've seen 2 big plays now, back-to-back. They're putting pressure on this defense.
Unleashes one. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. Couldn't make the play last time. Now it's 2nd and 10 from the 30. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. And they'll spike the ball to try to save as much time as they can. Going to work on second down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He's looking to throw. Unleashes to the end zone. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, we've got a chance at a finish.
If we had any chance to make this happen, we had to score with a little bit of time on the clock. Now we need a miracle. Now we need to kick the onside, get an onside kick, and somehow, some way, make a big play.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. Just over 30 seconds to play. They'll line up for the onside kick, and they've got to get it to have a shot. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.